Welcome. Today we're diving into an absolutely incredible story out of Taiwan. It's about a school that is completely flipping the script on how we think about aging, strength, and what it means to stay mobile. So, let's just jump right in with a big question. What if we stopped looking at our later years as this inevitable decline into frailty, and instead saw them as a time to train for a whole new adventure? This is the powerful idea we're going to explore today.
Okay, so to really get what they're doing, you have to understand the two big problems they're tackling. First, there's the physical one, sarcopenia. That's just a natural muscle loss we all experience as we get older. But the second one is cultural, and it's this well-intentioned but really damaging wheelchair culture, where we overprotect people out of a fear of falling, which ironically makes their muscles get weaker faster.
And that's where things get really tricky, because it creates this awful feedback loop, a vicious cycle that can be incredibly hard to break.
Here's how it plays out. The fear of falling starts to creep in, right? So what do? Naturally, you move around less to try and stay safe. But that inactivity makes your muscles weaker, which makes sarcopenia even worse. And here's the kicker. Your risk of falling is now even higher than it was before. You literally create the exact situation you were desperately trying to avoid.
So how do you break a cycle like that? Well, this story is amazing because the solution didn't come from some big research lab. It started with one doctor's really personal family experience.
Dr. Kuo Chin Sheng saw something that would change everything for him. His 95-year-old father-in-law, using walking poles for support and for exercise, went from being stuck in a wheelchair to walking on his own 2 feet in just 2 months. It was just this undeniable proof that real, dramatic improvement is possible at any age if you have the right tools.
So after seeing this with his own eyes, Dr. Kuo knew he couldn't just keep it to himself. In 2018, he founded the Up and Go Pole Walking School. His whole mission was to take that one personal victory and build a system that could help tons of other seniors break out of that cycle of fear and get their lives back.
Okay, so how does this actually work? Let's get into the science, which is super cool. One of the biggest game changers is how this pole walking method creates what they call a natural back brace.
Now, this concept is just fascinating. Forget about strapping on some clunky external brace. This method actually trains your body to create its own support system, right from the inside. By using the poles correctly, you're firing up all these key muscles that wrap around your spine and hold you stable and protected.
And it all breaks down into 4 key things. First, your arms take on some of the load, which takes pressure off your spine. Second, that pushback motion you do with the poles automatically engages your core and back muscles. Third, you just can't use these poles right if you're slouching, so they naturally pull you into a more upright posture. And finally, that gentle twisting motion actually helps nourish the discs in your spine, keeping them healthy.
And I love this next part, because it paints such a clear picture. The program forces you into a tall posture, which directly fixes that hunched-over look that so many of us get. They have a great name for it, the red-cooked shrimp stance, and it helps bring back the spine's natural, healthy curve.
But it's really important to understand that not all pole walking is created equal. Nordic walking, that's a high-intensity workout, basically for athletes. Then there's the Japanese style, which is more for the general public. But the Up and Go method is totally different. It's specifically designed for people who already have mobility issues, it's low intensity, and the whole focus is on stability and support, which makes it perfect for seniors who might be a bit frail.
So yeah, this is way more than just grabbing some poles and going for a walk. It's a whole system, and it's brilliantly designed to meet you exactly where you're at.
The entire program is built around 52 distinct movements, and they aren't just random exercises. They're all carefully organized into 13 progressive stages. So anyone, no matter how frail they are when they start, can begin safely and just gradually build up their strength and confidence.
And this is the really crucial part. It's not a one-size-fits-all deal at all. The system actually has specific exercise prescriptions, if you will, for all kinds of common issues that seniors face, from general muscle loss and back pain to even helping manage the symptoms of Parkinson's.
Beyond all the physical stuff, the real magic here might just be the social side of it. This quote really nails it. When you see a whole group of your friends confidently using these poles, they stop being a symbol of weakness. Instead, they become a symbol of a cool, proactive, and social lifestyle. It turns the walking aid into a trend.
And nothing, I mean nothing, shows this community spirit better than the story of their bamboo poles. It's awesome. They were inspired by local indigenous traditions, so a group of seniors actually started making their own poles out of bamboo. And then the money they made selling these beautiful, eco-friendly poles went right back into funding fitness trips for the whole community. It's just this perfect, self-sustaining circle of empowerment.
And all of this really leads us to the core idea, the big philosophy behind the whole program. And it is a massive shift in how we think about supporting our elders.
It's this fundamental switch, right? Away from passive care, which is all about restriction and overprotection to prevent falls, and towards active training. Instead of limiting what you can do, the whole goal is to build the strength and confidence you need to move safely, stay independent, and truly live a much fuller life. This quote just completely reframes the whole conversation, doesn't it? For so many people, exercise in old age is just about trying to prevent something bad from happening. But here, the goal is inspiring. It's about active improvement, about becoming stronger and more capable tomorrow than you are today.
So how do you get people motivated to train? You give them awesome, real-world goals. The members don't just exercise for the sake of it, they train for what they call fitness travel. The idea of being able to take a trip with their friends to go explore a new place, that becomes a powerful reason to show up, do the work, and see what's possible.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. It's a question that honestly applies to every single one of us, no matter our age. It's not just about preventing a fall. It's about what you could do, what new adventures you could start, if you just had the right support to stand a little taller.